I think as motorcycle riders, we can all relate. We're riding our motorcycle along, and just out of the blue, we come upon a sea of endless traffic. And the first thing that crosses our mind is, if I could just weave my way through that traffic in between those cars, I could save myself a ton of time and frustration. And a lot of new riders, especially here in Pennsylvania, may find themselves asking, can I drive my motorcycle between cars? To find out about that, stick around. Alright, so you're a new motorcycle rider here in Pennsylvania, and you've run into the situation that I explained just a moment ago, where you're riding along and suddenly you come upon lots of traffic, or maybe you're going through a city and you get stuck in gridlock approaching a traffic signal. You may be wondering, can I ride my motorcycle between cars? Now, there's two variations to that, or two different dynamics to that. You've got lane splitting and you've got filtering, neither of which are legal in Pennsylvania. But let's talk a little bit about the nuances of the two. So first, you have lane splitting. Currently, lane splitting is only legal in California, and it effectively allows you to use the line that splits two lanes of traffic moving in the same direction as a mini expressway of sorts. So instead of switching lanes left to right to left to right to weave your way around congestion or traffic on a highway, you can instead ride right along that line and split the two lanes effectively. Now, filtering, on the other hand, think of that as a slow speed maneuver. Generally, you'll see filtering when there is gridlock, or if you're approaching a traffic signal that is just backed up for forever. Filtering allows you to weave your way through slow or non-moving traffic to kind of get yourself to the front of the line. Now, being as though you are on a motorcycle, when you get to the front of the line, you are smaller, lighter, and accelerate faster than the traffic behind you, which allows you to move ahead safely. Now, as I said at the start of the video, neither lane splitting or filtering is legal here in Pennsylvania. At this time, lane splitting is only legal in California. There is a version of lane filtering that is legal in Utah, and there are bills being proposed in various other states which would allow lane splitting of some sort, be it actual lane splitting or some form of filtering, none of which have passed and moved along the legal chain. So if you're in Pennsylvania and you decide to succumb to that desire to make your way through that gridlock, through that congestion, what are the recourses? So before we talk about that, let us emphasize the fact that I am not a legal professional. I am not a lawyer. I am not in law enforcement in any way, shape, or form. I am just your regular average Joe motorcycle enthusiast who's done a little bit of research on the subject. So first and foremost, when it comes to motorcycles, there is one law in particular that expressly forbids occupying the same lane as a vehicle, with the only exception being another motorcycle riding two abreast. The number is 3523, and it clearly states that operating between lanes or vehicles, no person shall operate a motorcycle between lanes of traffic or between adjacent lines or rows of vehicles. It's very cut and dry. That is the violation for lane splitting or filtering in Pennsylvania. Now, it is undetermined what the fine is. I haven't been able to track that information down, only that it is the fine plus legal fees or plus court costs doubled in active work zones, plus a prescribed number of points. Both the fine and the points are kind of a mystery. I haven't been able to find information on either one. I believe that the fine will vary depending on the jurisdiction in which it occurs. So here in Pennsylvania, if you get this violation in Montgomery County, I believe it will be different than if you get this same violation in Berks County or Bucks County or Monroe County or whichever county you're in. While doing some research on the subject, it turns out there are quite a few instances of people being pulled over for lane splitting and filtering, and the results seem to vary. Basically, I think you're at the mercy of the police officer. If he's in a good mood, he may give you a lower a lower citation. If not, you could be looking at multiple citations for this infraction. So one of the infractions that I see pop up is 3304, overtaking a vehicle on the right. I believe this would be more of an issue if you were filtering and you left the roadway to enter the shoulder on the right lane to go around traffic to, avoid a backup or just get through congestion. I think this is an issue that you may be facing. Much like the previous, it is listed as fine plus court fees, and it carries a 3-point penalty on your license. Another issue you may be facing is 3305, which is improper passing on the left. Think of it just like going around traffic on the right, except you're doing it on the left. And I think this in effect puts you in a position of passing in a no passing zone. The fine is undisclosed. I really can't find any information on it, but it is fine plus court fees, doubled inactive work zones, and it also carries 3 points on your license. While I was doing research on this subject, I was kind of surprised to see this citation pop up as much as it did, which is 3310, following too closely. I'm not quite sure how this applies, but it seems to be an instance of maybe a law enforcement officer giving someone a break and giving them something that carries a lower fine. This is listed as fine, doubled in work zones plus court fees, and 3 points on your license. Another issue that I've seen come up is 3361, driving a vehicle at safe speed or driving too fast for conditions. This one comes with a $25 fine, doubled inactive work zones, and it carries 2 points on your license. And the last issue that you may be facing is 3714, which is careless driving or reckless driving. And this one is really at the mercy of the officer, because it's kind of at his discretion whether or not you were moving too fast for road conditions or traffic patterns or traffic conditions. This one comes with a fine with, again, undisclosed, doubled inactive work zones, and it carries 3 points on your license. So to summarize, can I drive my motorcycle between cars in Pennsylvania? The answer is not legally, and doing so could result in one or many citations, so I would not recommend it. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, do me a huge favor, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, ride safe, and I will catch you in the next one.